Tonight on Joy News Prime, we will hear from the family of 23-year-old Priscilla Chega, a student of the Ghana Media School who was under mysterious circumstances.
The Easter, we enjoyed ourselves, and on Easter Monday she said she will be going. And I said, oh, my daughter, stay with us more, so that evening time you go. She said, no, Aunt, Mommy, I have a project, so I have to leave, I have to go. I said, okay.
Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, announces its members will embark on a partial strike on Monday, June 14. The Labour Commission advised them to refrain and come to the discussing table. Also in this bulletin, majority in Parliament questions the basis for which the minority boycotted the vetting of Deputy Minister for Local Government Martin Ejay-Mensah-Kosa.
They will be the best to give the reason why they are not here.
He procured the seat through violence, which violence resulted in loss of lives. Therefore, strongly, we are protesting to the international community and the Ghanaian community alike.
And in business, Finance Ministry and International Finance Corporation agree on roadmap to finance and roll out 100 billion cedi Ghana Cares program.
What we are going to do is that there's now a team that is going to look at the framework and the way forward to align it to the 3 years that's remaining of the Obatampa program.
We're coming to live from our studios in Kokomlemle on your digital terrestrial TV, because we're free to air on GoTV channel 144, on DSTV channel 421. We are your home of independence, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. My name is Aisha Ryan. Do stay tuned in. Many thanks for choosing us. We begin with Priscilla Chega, who until her untimely death was a student of the GH Media School. She would have turned 23 yesterday until her death 1 week ago under very mysterious circumstances. She left home on Easter Monday and explained to her family that she had a project she was going to work on. Her family could not reach her later, and her landlord said she had not been home in 2 weeks since she left. But a week ago, a call from an anonymous person confirmed the worst fears of the family, that something tragic had happened to Priscilla. Police confirmed that Priscilla Chega had been killed in a hotel room. She checked in with another lady who, from CCTV footage obtained by family, showed leaving the hotel wearing Priscilla's clothes and her backpack. Priscilla was found lying motionless with foam in her mouth and a knife stuck in her chest. The family says they are yet to be given access to Priscilla's body and have not been briefed by the police on tracing and arresting her alleged killer. Priscilla Chega's family spoke to my colleague Benjamin Akakbo.
We've heard of many incidents in recent times of people losing their lives under mysterious circumstances. Recently, we've heard the story as well of Priscilla Chega, a student at one of our budding media institutions whose life was taken at a hotel. We interact with the family now to find out what exactly happened. Mr. Chega, tell us what exactly happened from start till this current time. We know that Priscilla would have been 23 years old yesterday. Unfortunately, her life has been taken. What is the story? What happened?
Please, it was Priscilla attended school at GH Media at Achimota. And then the last day she came home was during the Easter holidays, and then she left on Monday. So after Monday, we'll be hearing from Priscilla, communicating with her all right. But later part of the Easter holiday, she told us that she's doing a practical, or they are on a program. So if we called her and then she didn't receive the call, we should know that she's busy. She will call us later. So also we relax, all of us relax, waiting for her call. But for some time, some weeks, we did not hear from her.
But you saw pictures of your daughter in the hotel.
Yeah, they show everything to me during pictures. They show everything. So I asked, do they have the footage of my daughter and the lady who brought my daughter to the hotel? They said yes, they have all the information, but they are doing investigation. When they finish, they will bring everything out.
We celebrated the Easter, we enjoyed ourselves, and on Easter Monday she said she will be going. And I said, oh, my daughter, stay with us small, so that evening time you go. She said, no, Aunt Mommy, I have a project, so I have to leave, I have to go. I said, okay. So she dressed up. When she was going, it's like, hey, look at your dress. Me, I don't like the dress. And I said, oh, Mommy, you too, every day you said you don't like my dress. This one, they admire the dress. So it's like we are free, we are okay, we enjoy the Easter season. So when she went, it's like we've been calling her, we've been talking, I've been hearing from my child, and she told me, Mommy, this exam, I will write it. I hope I will write the exam, and I hope I will pass. I said, okay. I need the certificate. I want to see you on set. I want to see you on TV. She said, Mommy, don't worry. You just pray for me. I'll be okay. I saw from her. We went to the school, the GH Media School. We asked of her, and the lecturer said, Mr. Clifford, he said, oh, Priscilla, he have been seeing her around, so don't worry, she will come. She will be writing her exam. So that Tuesday, if she didn't come and write the exam, then he can understand that there's something going on. So we shouldn't worry. Priscilla is a good girl. She's not like that. She will come. So it's like 2 weeks. She can't see Priscilla.
The landlord hadn't seen her for about 2 weeks.
So the landlord said he thought she's with us or she's somewhere at the school.
Just to clarify, who was this that called you and said they know where she is?
50 years old man. And he said he's the hotel manager.
And so he is the hotel manager for that hotel where Priscilla went with a friend, so to speak.
I got to notice my sister wasn't communicating well with me somewhere around 24th, 25th of May, yes. So we tried calling her number on phone, but then at first when we call, it will go through, but she won't pick up. So later when I chat her on WhatsApp and I ask her, she told me she's busy with projects and all that, so she would call me back. So later, I got to realize the number was no longer going through when we call her. So it was only WhatsApp that I could reach her. Our sister called us some time ago. That was early May with a Tigo number that her phone was stolen. She was actually attacked. So she had to call us with this Tigo number, and then we were communicating through that number. After my sister was found dead at the hotel, the hotel manager confirmed to us that this was the same Tigo number the Juliana lady used to make the payments at the hotel. Yes. And
that is what raised eyebrows, because that was the same number you had sent money to some time back.
Just 2 days ago, this Juliana number sent me a hi on WhatsApp and then got some of the flyers of my sister's pics and then the missing picture something, and when she was found dead, and was asking me what's really going on, so she doesn't understand, she's confused. And I told her, we've asked the police and we've reported a case to the police, but they haven't told us details of where the body was found and what actually caused her death. So the police are still investigating on it.
We, the family, at least we have to see our body or the body of Priscilla Chega for identification first. For identification first. But when we go to the mortuary, the mortuary said, or the mortuary said we should wait. We should pay an amount of 150 Ghana cedis before he will allow us to see the body. Meanwhile, the CID was not around at that time. The CID this morning was calling me that I should come very quickly to the mortuary so that we go and see the body together with my wife. But my worry is that the police, they have to sit up, because I've lost my daughter and then just for identification, and then they are just go and come tomorrow, this and blah blah blah. In fact, it's worrying me a lot.
It's indeed worrying. The Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, has announced that its members will embark on a partial strike on Monday, June 14. By this announcement, TUTAG members have been tasked to not teach, invigilate, mark examination papers and or submit results and attend meetings of any of the technical universities. In a press release, the group listed 6 concerns they want to be addressed. These include a request for new conditions of service and frustrations in getting accreditation for academic programs. However, in consideration of students, members have been advised to supervise project work, research and community service. According to TUTAG, they have engaged government, other agencies and the National Labour Commission on their concerns. However, their discussions are yet to yield positive results. The association alleged in a statement that the National Labour Commission failed to enforce its ruling in August 2019 in TUTAG's favour regarding what is due to its members. The statement also reads in part, TUTAG continued to demonstrate good faith with the government over the years on these issues, but has now come to realization that the government, together with its agencies, is simply unwilling to fulfill its part of the bargain. TUTAG stated it is against this background that they are left with no option than to declare this indefinite partial strike to get their demands heard. The Labour Commission has meanwhile advised TUTAG to refrain from the intended industrial action and appear before the Commission on Wednesday, June 16. On phone this evening is Dr. Michael Brigandi, National President of TUTAG. Doc, I'm grateful for your time. What will your strikes, will your strikes still hold, or will you stand down as the Labour Commission has advised?
Well, what I know is that we have declared a strike with effect from Monday, the 14th of June.
Okay.
Yes.
So far, the National Labour Commission says you should go back to work. What has been the engagement so far?
Well, actually, it has only asked us to refrain from strike. And even that document that it cited and is using it to advise us was something that was just a draft we prepared for our internal consumption. I did not sign it, and I was therefore very surprised that they use it, that they said they cited it. I'm happy they didn't say we presented it to them or we circulated it. We had written to the National Labour Commission, we had written a number of letters to the National Labour Commission reminding them of government's failure to implement the very ruling that the Commission made in our favor regarding our conditions of service, specifically the payment of allowances comparable to traditional universities. We never had any positive response from the National Labour Commission. We sent several reminders. They did not respond. So even in, that was on the 1st of June, we had a first congress, virtual congress, after which we sent a communique to the National Labour Commission. We distributed it to our employers and then gave a copy to the National Labour Commission indicating that by the 11th, we're intending to go on strike. Monday is going to be 14th. We never even received an acknowledgement from the National Labour Commission. So to tell us that we should refrain from strike is neither here nor there, because we have done everything possible to avoid a strike. And both government and its agencies did not listen to us. So the only option left for us is to go on strike. And if they are advising us to refrain from strike, you need to make sure you do not, you don't create the necessary conditions that call for strike.
So what exactly would you want to see before calling off the strike?
One, we would like to start negotiations on our conditions of service as soon as possible. 2, we have this research arrears that has been pending with government since the 2018-2019 academic year. We want it paid as soon as possible. 3, our Tier 2 pension payment has never been made to our staff who go on retirement right from 2020, because the understanding was that the scheme was to operate for 10 years before payments would start, and it started in 2010. As at now, all those who went on retirement from 2020 to date have not received any payment. The money is locked up with government. All efforts to get this money into the Polytechnic pensions workers' pension accounts is just a hell to TUTAG. And the other issue that we raise has to do with our scheme of service. If you compare our the technical university scheme of service to that of other universities and even private universities, ours is more demanding in terms of the number of papers you have to publish and the number of years you have to wait. And we just don't understand why this discrimination. So this one can be reversed in no time. We are simply saying that put us on similar scheme of work that exists in other universities. And the few points that we have has to do with accreditation of our programs with the National Accreditation Board. More often than not, any time a technical university sends their programs to the National Accreditation Board through NCTE, now GTEC, they have been amalgamated. We have a lot of challenges regarding getting the approval to run those programs. Okay. And we have complained and complained and complained, and the process is still the same. Very, very tedious for technical universities. So these are the issues that we expect government to start addressing as soon as possible before we can think of calling off the strike.
So failure to do so, your strike continues?
Our strike continues.
I'm grateful for your time. Dr. Michael Brigandi is National President of TUTAG. Let's go to Parliament, because a majority in the House is questioning the basis for which the minority boycotted the vetting of Deputy Minister for Local Government Martin Ejay Kosa. The minority says Mr. Kosa used violence to snatch the Techiman South seat. They say the boycott was to protest the inability of government to bring those responsible for the deaths that characterized the election in that constituency.
We hold a strong view that through the use and misuse of state security apparatus and state security agencies, he procured the seat through violence, which violence resulted in loss of lives. There has been no investigation. There has been no visit by the Minister for Defense or Interior to commiserate, sympathize, and console with the family, nor even a contemplation of compensation to the family for those valuable lives that were lost, just for him to emerge as Member of Parliament. And therefore, strongly, we are protesting to the international community and the Ghanaian community alike that we detest violence, violence at coalition, violence in declaration, and violence in the determination of who become Member of Parliament. That cannot be an acceptable norm of our democratic practice.
So you are blaming him personally for what happened?
Hear his responses. He's assumed the role of the state. Is he the state? Probably he assumed the same role on Coalition 9 to have instigated those violence.
He says he's for justice, and on his own, he's reached out to the families, including the fulfillment of building a property for one of them.
Justice must be seen to be done, and he is not the state, and he cannot be the state.
But the NPP MP for Kwapim South, Obi Amwa, says there's no justification for the minorities' boycott.
Until I read from your station particularly, I didn't have any idea that he wanted to boycott. But their absence here indicates that they will not be available. We don't even know whether it will be for only a particular person, as you suggested, or for the whole day. They will be the best to give the reason why they are not here. But for our proceedings today, 1/3 is a quorum, and we had more than 1/3. So the Speaker felt that we could proceed, especially when we had other activities. So the nominee appeared.
Once you have 1/3, it doesn't matter that all the minority MPs were absent.
Well, ideally, what the Speaker usually does is that even if we have a quorum, he expects the leadership on the other side to also join him. So that, but I don't know whether they informed him that they will not be available, so he should go ahead. Or they are unreachable, so he has had to go ahead.
Did it take anything away from the process? It lasted for less than 30 minutes or so.
Well, I don't want you to put words in my mouth as to whether it's taking away anything from the process. The thing is that the vetting has been done for the first nominee, and then he's been discharged, meaning that those who were available at the committee were satisfied with what has gone on. We are waiting for the other 3. If still our friends don't turn up and we have the numbers, we'll go ahead.
Responding to questions before the Appointments Committee, Martin Mensah Kosa said he's committed to ensuring the victims of the violence get justice. A 22-year-old man was nearly lynched by residents of Ofinso Abofo in the Ashanti region on suspicion of abducting 2 girls in the community. The severely assaulted suspect, known as Kweku Boahin, was later handed over to the police. He's alleged to have lured the 4-year-old girl into a secluded bushy area a mile away from their home. The incident comes in the wake of children going missing in the area, with one found murdered. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko was in that community and now reports.
Matilda and Samira, both 4 years old, are siblings. Here, in this quiet Abofo suburb, is where they live and play together. About a mile from their home is this bushy area where this elderly woman produces charcoal for sale. Around 9 a.m. Thursday, she heard the children crying inside the bush. I was packing firewood here, she says, when I heard a child crying. When I moved towards them, I saw the suspect standing in the bush with the 2 girls. So I asked the children, "What are you doing here in the bush?" According to her, she found the suspect standing with the children inside this undergrowth. So she's showing me the exact spot where she saw the suspect and the children standing. And this is just behind this pigsty in these bushes. They were standing right here. When I intervened, he turned his back towards me. And when I raised the alarm, he fled through the bush right here. The woman suspected foul play and raised an alarm. The suspect took to his heels but was later arrested by a mob who nearly lynched him. Other eyewitnesses say they saw the suspect with a sack. I met him here and I asked him if he was the one who was being pursued, and he said no, so I left him. By the time I found out he was the one they were chasing, he was gone. He was holding a sack and a rope. They even tied his hands with a sack when they arrested him. Police had a tough time controlling the crowd that besieged the Abofo police station. The alleged victims have since been reunited with their parents, whilst the suspect is receiving treatment at the St. Patrick Hospital of Ofinso. Now, a lot needs to be established by the police in this particular case of alleged child abduction. But clearly, this is a town, Ofinso, Abofo, Ofinso and its environs is plagued by a common threat. People disappearing, children being killed, children going missing. And so there is a heightened sense of fear amongst the people here, and people have become alert to that threat. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Ofinso, Abofo, Ashanti region.
Back here in Accra, in the studio, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, tension is mounting in the Yunyoo Naswini district in the northeast region following the refusal of some youth to allow the National Identification Authority to commence the Ghana card distribution exercise in that area. The youth are protesting the NIA's recruitment of non-indigens as staff to lead the exercise in the area. The protest has led to the indefinite suspension of the exercise as the angry youth insist the district lead officer and his 2 deputies will not be allowed to lead the exercise and must be replaced with natives of the district. The police have taken over the equipment for the exercise and other properties of the NIA as the Regional Security Council intervenes in the matter. The agitating youth spoke with correspondent Elias Otanko from the district capital.
We will like to make our stance clear. Yes. Our stance known to management of NIA and those in authority that we shall not accept any DTL from any district apart from our own, because we also have the men who are more than qualified and have the requisite experience and applied for the position.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
On this note, the leadership of Yunyoo Youth Parliament appealed to the minds of NIA management and bring a person from our district who understands the dynamics, languages, and culture of the people. If not, we still not cooperate and work with anybody in the country.
We say no to foreigners.
The purported persons posted on NIA team lead to Yunyoo Naswan district had a tainted image and an irresponsible lifestyle towards the applicants and registration officials during the NIA mass registration. So we the youth of Yunyoo Naswan district will not give him space and peace of mind to operate, and we will chase him out anytime we see him in our district.
Yes. 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 We are telling the National Identification Officer office that they should try their best and change the guy for us. We don't want him here today, and we don't want him here tomorrow, or else we will not accept anybody from any district to come and work here.
We are saying that no one will come here and work if not our own brother. We are not accepting anyone, whether the deputy or the man or whoever is coming from this place. We are accepting the person, no matter the tribe or where the person come from. But we want the person to come from Yunyoo Naswan district.
We are into what? Serious crisis. We are not going to take it into our own hands, the law into our own hands. We are dealing with peaceful demonstration. But after this, the next step will be taken on if care is not taken. So we are saying that the leadership should take a full step on it.
Bring our brothers to come and work for us, or no.
About 3,600 people in the district are expected to receive their cards in the exercise. Still to come in the bulletin in business, Finance Ministry and International Finance Corporation agree on roadmap to finance and roll out 100 billion cedi Ghana Cares program.
What we are going to do is that there's now a team that is going to look at the framework and the way forward to align it to the 3 years that's remaining of the Obatampa program.
In business, the Finance Ministry and the International Finance Corporation have agreed on a roadmap to finance and roll out the 100 billion Ghana Cares program. Speaking to Joy Business after a 2-day workshop with the IFC, the Minister, Ken Oforiatta, revealed that the roadmap, which will be available in July, will include the fiscal commitment on the side of IFC for the financing of the Cares program.
I mean, what we are going to do is that there's now a team that is going to look at the framework and the way forward to align it to the 3 years that's remaining of the Obatampa program. How quickly transactions are done, which areas we are going to focus on to power us through, and then also look at the doing business in the country issue so that we resolve all of those things that do not help in the acceleration of industry and growth. Really about a month to be able to get the framework. I think one of the issues is how does the state become entrepreneurial and therefore to de-risk the areas that Ghanaian entrepreneurs will go into, and that's a focus, for us. So this will all help so that when you finish school, you are not looking at coming to immigrations or the public sector.
Now, the Minister of Food and Agriculture has rejected claims by farmers that there are inadequate fertilizers on the market. It has also rubbished the assertions that the few fertilizers on the market are barely subsidized for them. According to the Director of Crop Services, Seth Osei-Akoto, the issue is due to increased smuggling of fertilizer, though to the best of his knowledge, his outfit has provided the needed quantity of fertilizers. He was speaking at the sensitization workshop and policy dialogue on Planting for Food and Jobs program.
Some farmers have raised concerns that there are inadequate fertilizers on the market. According to them, the few fertilizers are barely subsidized for them to be able to purchase. Reacting to the issues raised, Director of Crop Services at the Agric Ministry, Seth Osei-Akoto, debunked the assertions.
Last week, I was in the northern part of the country, even where farmers have started preparing their lands. There are a lot of fertilizers in some of the shops. And I have a data that today I'm having a technical meeting with the minister. So I had to prepare my visit, and let me read to his hearing. And we normally do comparison. 2019, May, what was the distribution like? 2020, what was the distribution like? 2021, what was the distribution like? Now fertilizers, that he's talking about. 2019, May ending, we had almost 60,000. 2020, 34,048 metric tons. And then 2021, we had 21,986. So why lies that the farmers are not accessing fertilizers?
National President of the Peasant Farmers Association, Abdul Rahman Mohammed, indicated government's inability to pay suppliers is contributing to the inadequate supply of fertilizers. He also said the reduction of fertilizer from 50% to 38% for farmers is having a toll on their production.
The reduction of the subsidy component from 50% to 38% will put a lot of pressure on the smallholder farmer, especially women, given the impact of COVID-19 on the activities of farmers. Secondly, considering that we are in the month of June, which is the planting period for most farmers, it has become very frustrating for our members who are unable to access subsidized fertilizer. As I'm talking to you, there is no single subsidized fertilizer on the market, even though the ministry has given directive for supplies to start distributing fertilizer.
The Peasant Farmers Association, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, organized a sensitization workshop and policy dialogue on Planting for Food and Jobs campaign to interact with stakeholders on challenges and the way forward.
And that'll be all for business.
And it's time for Showbiz. Lady in Black is here. Give it up for her. Give it up for her.
It's a Friday, people. Aisha, tomorrow we are premiering Yao Sapon on the E-Vibe show on the Joy News channel and also on the Joy Prime channel.
And the one that comes before
the award-winning show, News File.
Your co-awardee.
Yes. Show. Hello to you, Samson. So Aisha, so he's been, telling us about his journey throughout this music industry. And one of the interesting things that he mentioned is that how he got the team, Yao Sapon and Asomafo, together.
Yeah, it's like some of the group members, they are having their own talents as musicians.
Yeah.
So the way they see me performing, singing and doing it, they also fall in love in what I'm doing.
What you do.
And they just, when they came, I just texted them and see if they can sing or they can play guitars, and a lot of them passed. Somebody like Tiwa, I just met her on one of a funeral programs with Professor Kofi Abraham. That was 1978.
Mommy Tiwa still had, she still had that, you know, voice.
Soothing voice.
And when you watch the show this weekend, you get to know.
Featured her
yes,
as well.
she's part of it. So you get to know more
and I think
about
she
them.
still looks very physically well.
She still has a lash on, you know. She's
her eyebrow.
I tell. No, she got lash and the eyebrow. You know how she.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
She
beautiful.
ain't
Lady.
joking.
Let's end with Chiame Kwame. He is advising that we use music as a change tool as Ghanaians.
The motive of all art is to become music. Yes. Music is the easiest art to identify with, because it is of sounds and vibes. You know, so when we want to tell the African story, we cannot do it without music. Because even in the Anansi stories, we have in Mogu, there's no adequate storytelling without music, because music is the thing that carries the mood. So I am creating the soundtrack to the journey of building that $50 million project. Yeah, so music, we cannot have an African Heritage Museum without music. We can.
Wow. And tonight, have your expectations been met towards, building the museum with music as a starter for the fundraiser?
I think that if we had come to you to say that, please, give us 20 minutes of airtime, you would have said, rate card.
And that'll be it for Showbiz, right?
Yes, that'll be it. We end it on Ochiame Kwame's note. Yeah.
So have a beautiful weekend.
You
Vicky.
too. You too. I love you all.
You owe me cinema, Martin.
Yeah, it's open.
We'll
so
go watch movies. That'll be it for Showbiz. Thank you for bringing us. Welcome back to Journey's Prime, to the rest of our stories. 2 years ago, media practitioners in the Ashanti region launched a campaign to plant trees to protect wetlands in Kumasi and its environs. The first project saw 65 coconut trees planted along the banks of the Subin River at Denyame, an area prone to flooding anytime it rains. Unfortunately, all the trees planted were uprooted by a private developer to make way for a construction project. Joining us, Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin finds out why the trees were destroyed at a time the country has committed to taking climate action.
Serious concerns were raised about unrestrained cutting of trees that once served as windbreak in the once beautiful garden city of the country. The journalists, most of whom are environmental activists, were only vigilant about the environmental devastation. They just wanted to make a difference and help in greening the city of Kumasi. In total, 75 coconut trees were planted in a one-day exercise with plans to extend the project to other areas. The Ghana Journalists Association, led by its regional chair, Kingsley Hope, and other senior members chose coconut trees because of its diverse benefits. One such is its ability to provide shade, fruits, and income. The location for the plantation was ideal because coconut trees need at least 1 inch of water per watering.
Discussion we came in, they made us to understand that the site was a buffer zone, and my little understanding of buffer zone, we agreed because we know that it will be protected from high human impact, negative high human impact. And so we wholeheartedly, accepted to do the plantation project there. If I not been KMA giving us, DJ has not the power to just pick up itself and choose a place and then do this. It's a national project because we wanted the place to be a coconut grove in the name of Ghana Journalists Association as our contribution to the fight against climate change and then greening the Kumasi and looking at the location.
2 years on, the journalists would have expected their trees to grow beautifully.
But that is not the case. Structures are being constructed on the land known as wetland because of its high level of saturation. Assuming these coconut trees were alive, they would have provided what only nature can give: oxygen and fruits. But it is just what it is.
We are not a serious country, we are not a serious people, because we know how important tree is to life, tree is to health, tree is to everything. So if somebody can just go and cut it off, we have Regional Security Council here, and even where the tree was planted, it's right within a security zone area because it's a buffer zone, but nobody seemed to know who did it. Nobody seemed to have called the person who did it to order or brought him or her to order. So it means we aren't a serious country, and I wouldn't waste my time, honestly, or spend time to say that I'm joining the Ghana Journalists Association to plant trees. Maybe a different project I will join, but to plant trees, I will not join because I know that tree will be cut off one day by a rich person.
Even when citizens are willing to plant trees, many are concerned about how these trees would survive. So it was not just tree planting, it was also protecting them from human pressure. The destruction of the trees came as a shock to the journalists. They feel the association has been betrayed in its effort to green Asante Mine and mitigate the effects of climate change.
And surprisingly, the KMA also said they were not even aware that such an activity had taken place in terms of the cutting down of the trees. It was very sad indeed, because of course we pride ourselves to be the garden city of West Africa, and the call had been, how do we restore this enviable position of Kumasi? But for you to take this initiative, you invest your time, some resources into the plantation, and then within a twinkle of an eye, everything is cut down. It's really sad. It was really something that everybody wasn't excited about.
Sadly, the 10 coconut trees planted at the press center did not survive the weather.
Planted some here, but unfortunately, you even be the best person to answer the question you are posed to me, because this is your field and you know what goes into sustain. It's not just mere plantation or planting the material, be it economic or non-economic. It needs to be sustained, and sustenance here or sustainability here is voluminous. Your time, commitment to ensure they grow. And so I am a working person, a full-time working journalist with Ghana News, New Times Corporation. I'm the regional correspondent. So you know how the job is involving.
Joining me via Zoom is Kingsley Hope. He's GJA chairman for the Ashanti region. For more on this development, I'm grateful for your time. How has your recent engagement with KMA been?
Yeah, thank you very much. But just as our colleagues have been listening, it has not been any favorable yet. And the impression we are getting is that it seems there are some big hands tied to the project. So the KMA itself is also careful in handling the issue. So we are all joined to see how we will go about it. In fact, we are trying to even follow it up with a petition to the Menchia Palace to see Otumfuo to come into it, to find out who is behind the project and how we could go ahead with what really we wanted to leave behind, a legacy in fighting against, climate change. That was our little contribution that we were trying to. It was part of the first award ceremony that we organized. You see, yes, to make sure the Ashanti Regional Association has left a legacy in fighting against climate change and then greening the city as it has taken off today. So that was it. It has not been any favorable. Still, even yesterday I had the opportunity of talking to the same network with the mayor, and the response is the same, no favorable.
So as it stands now, you've not been able to get those who authorize the destruction of the trees. Have you been able to gather that?
We are still gathering it. You know, yesterday, for instance, I was at the site. It was very interesting if you were to be around to see what went on. You see, so I had to leave. The guys working there will not even allow you to come in. It was just by grace yesterday that I got to even to have a chat with let me put in that way, the foreman in charge of what is going on. I went there and it was kind of a manufacturing of blocks for the entire project to take off. You see?
In 2019, when you were planting the trees, did any of the officials of the assembly take part in the process, or it was a mere statement for you to go ahead and plant because it's a buffer zone?
No, it wasn't. We thanks to the then public relations officer of the KMA, Mr. Okumenyami, he helped me to get in touch with the head of environmental department there, Mr. Isaac Basani. Had a chat with him and he recommended the place. It will interest you to know that a day to the program, if I had not gone there, DJ was going to find himself in a great mess. Why am I saying this? The impression was given to us that all the materials were going to be provided by the KMA. So ours was just to go there, expend our energy and whatever refreshment that we were going to organize for ourselves to plant the trees. So a day to that, I had to organize myself, contacted a friend at the Crop Research Institute here at Fumesa, who linked me up to a farmer, of a coconut farmer. So initially it was commercial trees, but later we realized that no, anything could happen, just as it has happened. So if you grow any commercial tree like say teak or whatever, it will be easier for whoever to hew them down to do. So why don't we go in for something that is edible, looking at the benefits, the economic benefit and even health benefits of coconut. So we chose coconut. So DJ organized, you know, it was an awards period. So we had sent out some letters and thankfully to God or whatever, we were able to get some pieces of money. And so we put some together. We had to take off some to organize for the coconut trees from a farmer at Fumesa. So we bought them. And I remember very well that my last interaction with Mr. Basani, I did him out. There was branded t-shirts. I did him out one of the t-shirts, hoping he was coming, but he couldn't make it. And it was thanks to Mr. Okumenyami, who came there with, I remember very well, 2 or so staff from KMA to be part of the planting exercise. Okay. So it was something that was made known to the KMA. We couldn't have just picked up ourselves, say we are DJ, and so we wanted to do this.
So this that you're saying, has it been brought to the attention of the regional minister and traditional leaders in the metropolis?
The regional minister, I want to believe, is aware because my secretary, Georgina, has had a chat with him. But as I said earlier, everybody is careful handling the issue. You see that? And for the traditional leaders, the next step, as I said earlier, is we're trying to put our minds together, petition Otumfuo on that.
So now that the trees have been destroyed for private development purposes, I mean, what do you intend to do? To probe further and maybe find answers to questions bordering the association?
Yeah, find answers to questions bordering the association. And I was also thinking of, yesterday, was it today? Yeah, it was today that we spoke on that network with the mayor. And the mayor made us to understand when I was trying to call for compensation, that per the assembly's bylaws, if a developer destroys, say, 10 of a planted tree, he will have to, or she will have to double or triple the plants. And so it wasn't going to be any fiscal cash. But fine, I said that if the materials will be given to us, the number of materials they will buy for the GJA, it is a legacy we want to leave. Okay. So we are going to find a place that KMA will go and recommend another place for us to do the replanting. Okay. If it is money they give it to us, we are going to put it back into the replanting. And you see, the crux of the matter is, if they should give us the materials, know that what we went to do, branded t-shirt, I'm not talking about the refreshments, the tools that we rented for. So definitely there could be something like, okay, some cash to whatever will happen. Then we go and do our illegal, so we want to plan.
Kingsley Hope, I'm grateful for your time. He's Ashanti Regional Chairman of the GJA. Now, the multimedia group has partnered with the Labadi Beach Hotel to join the rest of the country in planting trees on Green Ghana Day. Government had announced an ambitious plan to plant at least 5 million trees today in a bid to reclaim the country's green landscape. Already, Ghana has lost about 80% of its forest cover, but today's exercise is aimed at reversing this worrying trend. Listen to MD of Labadi Beach Hotel, Renee Vincent Ennis, and head of programs at Joy FM, Adam Naite, speaking after planting the trees.
We have 2 of the seedlings already planted, and more are going to follow. Just for the purposes of this particular interaction, we're doing 2 just to show the viewers what we are doing today.
It's a tall order, but it's very doable. We are extremely proud to join you guys and the multimedia group in this very, very, very important track. It's important for our green policy, something we believe in very much, as you do as well. Therefore, we have to secure this world for our children, and this is one of the good ways of doing it. So it doesn't take much of a brain cell to know that you have to be part of something like this, and we are very, very staunch believer in that.
And somebody will be asking that why the multimedia, why the Joy Brands particularly, why choose us?
There's no doubt that the partnership that we have with you guys is absolutely nationwide. It's something that people like. It's people know you guys, they know us, and they see that particular partnership will work very, very well. You know, we are promoting everything together, whether it's our staycations, whether it's everything that we have to do at Labadi Beach. Here we always look at the glasses half full rather than half empty, and the way that the times are today, we think that's extremely exciting to be shouting from the rooftops with people like your good selves or what the good things people can expect from Labadi Beach Hotel. And these are part of those things. It's part of our role in community to be part of stuff like that.
And definitely we're leaving this in your care as stewards of these seedlings. We hope that in a year or 2 when we come back we'll still see them alive and doing even better.
You will be the first recipient of a coconut, I promise you that. Absolutely it will be. We have more than 400 coconut trees in the Labadi Beach Hotel. It's very important to us, the green environment, our green policies, as I mentioned before, and to shout with you guys as partners, multimedia group, is a no-brainer. It's a straightforward relationship which we are very proud of, and something that we will want to continue for always. And if we can do something like this together, there is no stopping us, is there?
Definitely. Renee Vincent, and he's managing director Labadi Beach Hotel. Let me now speak to Adam Naite. She's programs manager, Joy FM. And so, Adam, you could just join me. I'm really upbeat about this entire exercise. We're planting this. It's maybe symbolic, but it speaks to even more in terms of what we believe in at the multimedia group.
Yes, definitely. And we set the national agenda quite often, and we champion this. So when the president called on all Ghanaians that we need to embark on this exercise, definitely we just have to embrace it because we believe in it. He actually did mention that our very existence is tied to this. We all just can't sit back and watch our environment just get wiped out because they're felling trees, galamsey here and there and all that. So it's a call from the president. We believe in it and we are supporting it as a group.
And definitely, this is a question I asked Renee, that really, after this, what next? Are we going to see it,
Oh, definitely. We have a long-standing partnership with the Labadi Beach Hotel. They are our strong partners. They support our activities. So we decided to do this together because he realized that they also believe in a lot of greenery. You come around here, the buildings are beautiful, but you still have a very green and a very beautiful environment. So why not? We are going to nurture it, watch it, make it grow. Every once in a while we will come. I heard you say that you have left it in their care, but we're jointly going to nurture it and ensure that it grows to fulfill the purpose for which we are doing this today.
Members of the Diplomatic Corps and other dignitaries joined the exercise at the Forestry Commission here in Accra. Diana Akonshia is head of the EU delegation to Ghana.
European Union's main objective for the next years is to fight against climate change and to become a climate neutral continent. So we are very happy that Ghana has decided to join. European Union will support. We have already in the last 3 years planted 300,000 trees in different parts of Ghana with our environmental projects. So we will continue to do this in the future, and we welcome very much that the government of Ghana is doing this.
The Green Ghana Day, which forms part of a larger Green Ghana project, has received support from organizations, churches and individuals. Dr. Joyce I is one of them.
I'd like to mention that what we're doing here today is not just a government initiative. It is an individual responsibility. Forest cover. So the of government is only helping us to play our part. Because the excitement of planting today should not end today. Everyone who must be interested in how the tree is doing. And so each one of us, and I'm glad that we're diplomatic corps, we are to assign people from their embassies to coordinate with Forestry Commission to watch how the trees are doing.
President Akufo-Addo is counting on the Green in Ghana initiative to reverse the devastating degradation of the country forest cover. At 8 million hectares of forest cover at independence, the country now has only 1 million hectares. The current state, according to the president, is dire and therefore requires urgent steps. At the Jubilee House Friday, President planted a Tree of Life and declared June 11 Tree Planting Day. The Chief Idris has more.
The National Chief Imam joined dignitaries such as Ihana Yakubu Andani II, Asantehene Otumfo Seitutu II, Chief Justice Enin Yeboah, among others, to plant seedlings across the country. Speaking to Joy News on behalf of the National Chief Imam after planting a tree at the Central Mosque at Kanda here in Accra, spokesperson of the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Arimial Shaibu, encouraged the Ghanaian people to ensure the trees do not wither but germinate.
It's not just the planting. You plant something and water it to germinate so that it will grow into a big tree. Something that you live for generation of people who will come after us. Even if you are 15 years today, you plant this tree which will live for 100 years. In other words, after you, a generation that will come to 100 years will be beneficiaries of something very good that you have done. So please, after planting, make sure you water. Preserve them, make them your own, These trees are your own and they represent your contribution. They remind you of something you have done in your history about the contribution you have made to the progress and indeed protecting what belongs to us.
Yeah, so the Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Jinapor also took his turn and planted a tree just across the street of the ministry, also to commemorate the tree planting project.
The planting of the trees is 20% of the work done. The mechanism or the strategy which will result into the tree surviving is 80% of the work. And therefore, whatever mechanism we have to put in place, working with other partners and the Forestry Commission to make sure that these trees survive, exactly what we'll do. And whatever we also do so that in 2022, the Green Ghana Day will be bigger than it is today. We should be able to do it because we need to restore the forest cover of our country, and it's absolutely important that we work hard at it.
So what are the practical steps that have been put in place to sustain the trees, as you put it?
Well, first of all, we have to sensitize people in Ghana. The people who have planted the trees in their homes and in their schools and the rest, they have to take steps to nurse them, to nurture them so that they can grow and survive.
The president has also taken the initiative. In fact, he is the initiator of this whole project and has planted his tree right here at the Jubilee House. You are looking at the tree or the seedling that has been planted by the president, commonly named as Lignum vitae. That is the tree of life. Now, the call the president has made today is that he has made a declaration that June 11 every year has been declared as a National Tree Planting Day.
Government is determined to ensure the survival of the 5 million trees being planted today. Together, we must and will protect our environment and ecosystem. And we must contribute to the world's agenda in combating global warming. We have to protect planet Earth and our motherland, Ghana. I appeal to all Ghanaians to embrace the Green Ghana initiative introduced by government. It is an ambitious initiative, and we will make the necessary effort to sustain it. God willing, this event will be an annual one.
The Vice President also took his turn and planted, as was done by the President of the Republic, and he planted the same tree of life. Latif Idris reporting for Joy News.
Asante Otumfuo Osei the second also planted a symbolic tree at the Royal Golf Club in Kumasi in commemoration of the Green Ghana Day project. The exercise is a lead up to the planting of 1 million trees in the Ashanti region. Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources designate Benito Usubio says measures are in place to nurture the trees planted. Nana Yaujima has more.
Efforts, including the Otumfuo Landscape Restoration Project, have been rolled out to plant 3 million trees in the Ashanti region, with special attention at Lake Bosomtwe. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah, speaking at the ceremony to commemorate the Green Ghana Day, called for public support to stop illegal mining and logging to safeguard the environment.
We are going to plant 1 million trees in Ashanti region, which is commencing this morning. Now, if you plant 1 million trees in Ashanti and Galamseyas destroy 10 million trees, then what are we doing? In a sense, all hands must be on the deck to fight against this canker of illegal mining or Galamsey, and at the same time fight against illegal logging.
The Forestry Commission says trees for the Green Ghana project have been oversubscribed in the Ashanti region. Regional head Augustine Jedu says 1.2 million seedlings have so far been distributed.
We sensitize the communities through radio discussions, radio program visitations, and the demand has gone higher than the 1 million. Your Royal Majesty, as we stand here, we have distributed almost 1.2 million seedlings.
Deputy Minister Designate for Lands and Natural Resources, Benito Usubio, says the trees will be nurtured.
The ones that we plant along the roads on our streets, we have the Parks and Garden and also the Youth in Afforestation group to also help us on that. The ones we plant in the forest, those ones is the duty of the Forestry Commission. But when you plant yours at home, let your child take care of it. Let your child grow with the tree so that in future the child can own the tree and say that I planted this tree.
Meanwhile, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly chose the State Experimental Basic School for the planting of trees. The Assembly intends to plant 500,000 trees out of the 1 million target for the region. Kumasi Mayor Osei Esibe Entry is counting on the public to help meet the target.
Those trees that have been planted outside in the streets, along the roads, those are the areas that the public also need to take very good care of it. When we plant it, then the community owns it. When we plant it in the school owns it.
For Joy News, Nana Yaujima reporting.
And in the Central Region, the Metropolitan Archbishop of Cape Coast, the Most Reverend Charles Gabriel Palmer Backel, has underscored the need for the country to sustain the tree planting exercise that has just begun. He says it's in the country's interest to put in place measures to make the exercise a priority. Speaking at the Abo Week of the Catholic Church and the Green Ghana exercise at Anomabo in the Central Region, the Archbishop intimated the church would plant 1 million trees every year to help in greening Ghana. Richard Kwejonyako has more.
Most Reverend Gabriel Charles Palmer Buckle led the exercise at Anomabo. He intimated the Greening Ghana project has come at a good time and has come to complement what the Catholic Church has been doing during its Abo Week celebration every year.
Because we are part of nature. We must have a feeling for nature. Nature is crying. We must be compassionate. We must be creative, find beautiful ways of restoring generation and restoring creatures and creation. And then we must be courageous because we must be, persevering. This Arbor Week has coincided with the Green Ghana project, which we think is in order. Apart from that, and therefore we are going to continue. In fact, we intend for the whole month of June, the rainy season, to have contributed at least 1 million trees in the Catholic Church nationwide to the Green Ghana project of 5 million trees. So that is our contribution. We are going to continue as long as the rainy season continues. And every year we will have the Arbor Week in which we conscientize people about the importance to preserve nature.
Head of the Development Office at the Archdiocese of Cape Coast, Reverend Father Stephen Amwajesi, says the Catholic Church would strive to sustain the Green Ghana project as the Church has been doing already.
The sustainability is a problem. For us in the Archdiocese of Cape Coast, we are ready to sustain it. We need support, of course. When you give the trees to the Church, believe me to be that we are going to do it. But then we need the support of everyone to make it happen. We need to protect our environment, we need the trees, we need to make sure that everybody is part of it. That part of our flag, the greener part of our flag, will be deepened for posterity to see what we have done.
MP from Fansaman, Ophelia Mensah Hayford, says she would add the tree planting exercise to a priority list in the constituency.
In fact, before this initiative was brought up by His Excellency, I had a program where we're going to roll out sanitation that we'll set a day aside within a month to clean up in Fansaman. So I'm going to imbibe this into it. And then we make sure while we clean up in Fansaman, we'll go to the various locations where we think or we'll cite us. We want to plant trees and then we'll plant. So it means every month we'll go into a community within Fansaman to go and plant trees.
Ghana and other state institutions have embraced government's tree planting exercise. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority was deeply involved in the tree planting exercise dubbed Green Ghana Day. Here's more in this report.
June 11 has been marked as Green Ghana Day. This is part of the Green Ghana agenda, where the nation's target is to preserve its forest cover and the environment for generations to come. In this regard, public institutions and corporate Ghana joined the tree planting exercise. The Ghana Revenue Authority participated in the event, and this is what Commissioner General Reverend Amishadai Osuamwa had to say.
A green environment promotes our health. A green environment reduces the expenditure that we have to incur as far as medical bills are concerned. And therefore, we want to encourage all our taxpayers. It's not only the tax paying that we are interested in, but we are also interested in all of us joining in this campaign and ensuring that wherever our offices are, wherever we have, in our homes, in our own gardens, we all plant these trees. If you do this effectively, in the long run, it will also boost the economy in one way or the other.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner General is optimistic that by July this year, most of the problems associated with the automation process of tax payment will be addressed.
From 1st May, we started allowing taxpayers to be able to pay from the comfort of their homes as well as to the banks. So on 1st June, then we put a definite position and say from 1st June, all checks must be paid through the banks. So that is the second step. Then the third step, which is 1st July, we'll say all cash must also be paid through the banks. So you can either go to the bank or you can sit in your home, use your Momo to pay, use your card to pay, do bank-to-bank transfer. And in fact, where we have come to, you can actually do end-to-end your tax filing and payment without the need to come to our offices. With the June 1, yes, it's been going well. As you know, anything that you start initially, you will have challenges. So we do not be ostrich to say there won't be any challenges. But what we have done is that we have come out with the telephone numbers that we have shared to the public, and we have set people up where if you have any problem and you call them, they can help you to be able to address whatever concerns that we have. We've also constantly been engaging with the banks to ensure that they also give us feedback on any challenge that they have so that they also be addressing them. Our commitment to the automation is absolute. And therefore, we are also making sure that we have the support to make sure that whatever issues that come up, we fix them. We will not go back. Forward we will go.
Well, let's still stay on the Green Day because Vodafone Ghana, as part of the Green Ghana project to plant 5 million trees across the country, says it is dedicating the month of June to plant 4,000 trees. According to the HR director of Vodafone Ghana, Hannah Ashiokai Akron, the economic benefit of trees cannot be quantified, hence the company's resolve to partake of this initiative. Here is more.
Green Ghana, a project by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, seeks to plant about 5 million trees across the country. Today marking the Green Ghana Day, Vodafone Ghana says they are dedicating the whole month of June to plant about 4,000 trees in the country. Chief Director of Vodafone Ghana, Hannah Ashiokai Akron, spoke to Joy Business.
So Vodafone Ghana started this initiative with the Forestry Commission and the Ghana International School 3 years ago. So as part of our purpose-led initiatives as Vodafone Ghana, we wanted to plant trees. And so that fell right into the plans with Ghana International School, who had the same plan. And then we approached the Forestry Commission, who were very, very supportive of our initiative. So that's how we launched hashtag Red Loves Green. So Vodafone is red, Red Loves Green. So we started the initiative 3 years ago. And then with the help of Sir John of blessed memory, all our employees got seedlings and we planted trees in our various exchanges, our offices, and we were able to plant 3,000 trees. We actually came to the same location with the Ghana International School. So this year, of course, heeding to the President's cry and being in line with our own purpose initiative, we decided to partner again with Ghana International School and with the Forestry Commission. I mean, if we look at deforestation and what it has done to our forests and our water bodies even, that impacts ultimately our food supply, it impacts our health. And so this initiative that now the President is calling on every Ghanaian to plant at least 1 tree in their various backyards, on their streets, it's not just for the food, it provides shade, it's good for the environment, it protects our water bodies. So ultimately we all benefit from the initiative.
Deputy Regional Manager of the Forestry Commission, George Agbenowashi, told Joy Business that the Commission has a well-developed plan to maintain all trees that are being planted today.
It's true there has been a concern of the maintenance. We are collaborating with the various assemblies, the MMDAs, to ensure that we maintain what we have established. Because we are not only planting in the forest, we are planting in the schools, we are planting along the major road sites, that's what we call avenue planting. And so the MMDAs are assisting in terms of the maintenance and the application of water or watering of the seedlings that we have planted. We have been assured by them that what we have established or what we have planted will be maintained, together with the Forestry Commission.
There you have it, about 4,000 trees being planted in the month of June by Vodafone Ghana, with a well-developed plan by the Forestry Commission to ensure that these trees do not die. Nicholas Brown for Joy Business.
Let's now bring you a summary of international business news. course, that's how we end business with me, Charles Item.
Welcome back to Joy News. So the rest of our stories, a customary practice in the Upper East region where women cannot own lands and are not qualified to inherit lands could potentially threaten the food security of the region, since women constitute a greater portion of the region's farming population. This is according to the Upper East civil society organizations in the agricultural platform, who are advocating for this customary practice to be abolished. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
In some parts of the Upper East region, customs bar women from owning lands within their traditional family settings. A man who has both male and female children, therefore, is expected to share any lands that he owns only among his male children. If the man has no male children, the land automatically becomes the property of the extended family upon his demise. It is then shared among the man's brothers or his nephews. At a recent agriculture forum, the Upper East Regional Secretary for the Women in Agriculture platform, Gilberta Akoka, spoke about how the customary practice affects women.
It's a big challenge to access arable land, especially women. This is because I think the men are looking at us to be competing with them. And so, because of our cultural background, that women cannot own land, they don't want to give us the land that we can produce and get good yield on.
The implication of this customary practice is that some women cannot freely participate in farming if they want to, unless they are allocated arable lands by their husband's relatives. Paramount Chief of the Bongo traditional area, Naba Baba Salifu Lemyarum, says the custom exists. However, he believes that it needs to change.
There is the need to support women, in agriculture, because they are the breadwinners of the families and homes. Bongo has a vast land at the eastern part of the district. So that was where I gave land for the women to do their group farming. I think there's the need for traditional rulers to support women, in this direction.
The Upper East Civil Society Organizations in Agriculture platform is an umbrella of civil society organizations and private sector actors in the agriculture sector. They believe that the customary practice has to be abolished because it is a threat to food security. The reason they decided to organize this forum. The one-day forum brought together traditional leaders, the Women in Agriculture platform, CSOs, and the media to deliberate on finding lasting solutions to women's access to farmlands and other farming incentives. Simon Amoa is the Upper East Regional Chairman of the CSOs in Agriculture platform.
52% of the farmers in Ghana are women farmers. They produce 70 to 80% of the food that we consume. Women farmers do that. And actually, without them, the agriculture sector will suffer a lot. So the main purpose of today's meeting is to bring our traditional leaders to see how best they can assist our women farmers to have access to arable land for farming.
The consensus was that this customary practice needs to change or be abolished entirely. The problem is it could take a long time. Albert Sori, Joy News, Bolgatanga.
One day when I'm not around, my soul will be at peace because I know my daughter has a secured future because of this kind act. These were the words of Georgina Yawa Ankra after Joy News presented cash donated by viewers to her. This follows a report filed by Joy News' Beryl Ernestina Richter on the poor living conditions of Yawa and her special needs child. There's more in the following report.
The elated but frail-looking woman, after receiving the money, said she is confident with this kind gesture her daughter Yunyoo's future is secured even after her death.
Thank you all very much, and God bless you. I never dreamt of getting this huge amount of money. I'm overwhelmed by this gesture, and it is my fervent prayer that the good Lord replenishes your pockets. It has always been my prayer for God to send help to Yunyoo and I. And by God's grace, that prayer has been answered. Joy News, God bless you for the good work. One day when I'm not around, my soul will be at peace because I know my daughter has a secured future because of this kind act.
Elizabeth Lamptey is Yunyoo's teacher who has been caring for her. She assured the team that the funds received will be put to good use through the accounts set up at Fidelity Bank.
I was just helping a vulnerable girl I saw in school, and it was just me helping out. I never thought it would go out and become this huge. I'm so humbled to be used as an instrument for the change in Madam Yahweh's life and that of her daughter, Yunyoo. Now there is an account in Yunyoo's name, so when the money is deposited, we are going to invest. Now that she is in school, in the nearest future, she may need the money to develop herself and also to still take care of her mom. The account is at Fidelity Domi branch, and then the name is Jacqueline Abna Enyonam Nudupo, and the account number is 20404419898018. We are most grateful. Now Yunyoo is safely admitted at Jolu Special School, and we are all grateful. It's through your efforts that we've gotten this far.
Since the broadcast in February, the family has received support in diverse ways from the public.
We are back here in this room to find out what has changed. Since the last time we visited her, we realized she was living under very, very poor and deplorable conditions. But a lot has changed here. So I have with me her neighbor, Madam Mansa, who has been helping her a lot. Madam Yawatwem.
Oh, I feel like Ninya back and clean, and wa peak and ni can be sheska. She said, we the graft Johnson, Lahu eba wapi, in how full stop, some like a nibi pi, ni elehe TV nekeba.
The flat-screen television, refrigerator, and the bed were all bought by a philanthropist called DeGraft Johnson. Reverend Father Campbell also helped a lot by changing the dilapidated ceiling, provided a fan and some groceries, detergents, and other things. I thank everyone who has supported Yawa and her child.
Over roofing, ceiling, fan, provisions, fuel,
And that's how we wrap up the bulletin tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. We have updates of all the developing stories. We enjoy the rest of our programs.